I approached four men that I knew that had had a radical prostatectomy, had had surgery, so they clearly, had prostate cancer. And all four men, firstly, opened up to me and talked to me, which was really, really helpful for me as a newly diagnosed sufferer. So that really opened my eyes to the fact that men do talk about stuff, but until you're actually in it and involved in it and part of it, you tend to be a little bit British, a bit stiff upper lip. We don't talk about things like that. But thank goodness those men did talk about it to me, and I found out that all four of them were impotent from the surgery that they'd had. And I discovered that in that arena there are a lot of men who do talk and do share things. And really it's quite intimate, quite private stuff that we talk about. But it was so very helpful. And really this was the driving thing behind the Men Are Talking, and partly because prostate cancer is typically seen as an old man's illness, an old man's disease, and it's not. I think they're starting to recommend now that if there is a history of prostate cancer in your family, then you should be tested from the age of 45, partly to get a pattern of what you can have historical figures for your PSA, your prostate-specific antigen, and then they can have a base point, a starting point to keep an eye. So it is a young man's illness as well as an old man's illness. So it's really important that men do talk about this, and it's how you learn. It's how I learned, and it's how I avoided surgery, and how I avoided conventional radiotherapy and brachytherapy, which was another of the solutions offered to me, and managed to find something that solved my problem without those distressing side effects. So it's all about Men Are Talking and sharing, and I'm keen to connect with the newly diagnosed and introduce them to this world of talking about this sort of stuff, which typically we don't talk about.